I'm talking to voters across the country about issues that are top of mind for them this election. Jake is a young professional working in Toronto. An issue top of mind for him, housing.
I'm 28. I live with my partner. We've lived together for a few years now. I work as an administrator at a university downtown Toronto.
What is your top priority this election?
If I'm thinking of just strictly my own personal self-interest, I would say it's housing. We were living in a condo that we were renting in downtown Toronto for a little while. We moved in together late 2021, and then about a year and a half later, I think it was in relation to COVID, the interest rates went up to a degree that our landlord couldn't afford to carry the number of properties that he had in his portfolio at that time. So he had to sell some of them. And one of the apartments that he had to sell was the one that my partner and I were living in. And over the year and a half that we had been living in that neighborhood, rent went up in our area about 33%. So we were essentially priced out of a lot of downtown, and we found ourselves renting a place in Scarborough instead. So we've been here going on 2 years now. We have a good relationship with our landlords, but I think there's still a little bit of just uncertainty hanging over us, knowing at any moment that your home could be sold, possibly heading into a recession, and we don't know what's going to happen economy-wise. You know, a lot of our life kind of depends on the finances of people that we barely know.
What are your jobs?
Yeah, so I'm an administrator. I work at a university, so I've got a good gig. I like it. My partner is she's a journalist actually. She's a sports writer. So we both have like full-time jobs, regular salaries. You know, we're not rich by any means, but it still feels like housing is sort of out of reach.
And amongst, your friends and, your peers, do they share similar sentiments about those election issues being the top priorities for them as well?
Really, most of my friends are living with their parents at this point. Being in our late 20s, I don't think that's the plan that any one of us had kind of, designed for ourselves at this phase of life. So yeah, I think housing is top of mind for a lot of my friends and a lot of people in my cohort.
Have you been keeping up with the, promises that some of the politicians and federal parties have been making?
I will say I'm liking the Liberal platform this year. Sometimes I think I get a little bit frustrated with political platforms when it feels like the only levers they really know how to pull is to play with tax rates and interest rates. I like that the current Liberal Party is saying that they're going to do things like invest in prefabricated housing technologies, modular housing, mass timber. So getting some creative, innovative technological elements in the infrastructure priority is something that's really interesting to me. I also know Carney's been talking about providing funding and resources to non-for-profit housing initiatives like co-ops and things. The NDP platform is also, I know that they want to prevent for-profit housing companies from buying up essentially like affordable rental units. There are certain aspects I like, honestly, from almost every party's platform. The Liberals, I think, have my favorite platform out there when it comes to housing. I think a lot of Canadians are really in love with the idea of home ownership, maybe to the point that you could start calling it an obsession. And I get it, because we all want an asset that we can kind of sink our savings into. The idea of, paying a mortgage where you're paying a monthly cost to live, but it's going back into your own equity, that is really attractive. But I'd like to just sort of, on a widespread scale, like to be able to explore more things like co-op housing. I think that that's a solution that has been around for many decades. I think it's been underused. So again, that's another sort of form of innovation. It's not all necessarily technological, that I like seeing the parties work on, and it does kind of give me hope when I see things like that.